In this tutorial, we're going to look at how to use the Revolve, the Hole, and the Pattern tool in Fusion 360. Let's first look at the Revolve. We'll create a new sketch from the front face of the view cube. So we'll click on Front. So we're getting a front view. And let's make a sketch that we can revolve. So we'll go to Sketch, and I'd like to use the Spline tool to give myself kind of a nice curve to revolve. So I'm going to start a little bit off of the center point, and I'm going to click, and you'll see with the spline tool, as you click, you can control the curvature. So I can always adjust the curves however I like. But once I'm happy with the shape, I'm going to close the shape. So I'm going to make a line. I'll hit L for the hotkey for the line, and I'm going to connect the points to the center and going up, and I'm going to line up that last point in order to create this type of closed curve here. So now I can go to Create, Revolve. For the profile, I'm going to revolve the closed shape that I made. The axes, I'm going to use the axes on the bottom. So I will use this axis here, and I'm going to hit OK. And you can see what happens is it takes that shape and it kind of revolves it all the way around. Now I could drastically affect the shape of it if I undo this by going to Control Z. And let me try to revolve it around another axis. So I can go to Create, Revolve. I'll take the same profile, but this time, notice what happens when I use this red axis instead of the other one that I used. So I'll hit OK there, and it's a very different shape than the other one. So it just depends on what you're trying to do with your design and how you want to do it. Now we're going to look at using the Hole tool, and I already have this block made that I'm going to use the Hole tool on. So we can go to Create, Hole, and Hole is very similar to sketching a circle and cutting it through like an extrude, but it gives us a lot more control over the hole. So we're going to create a hole on this top surface, and the first thing you'll notice is you can position the hole anywhere you want, and it kind of likes to snap to a couple of control points. So I'm going to position it until it snaps to the middle. And now there's a lot of different types of options for holes. I can do kind of a simple hole where it just extrudes through, but then I could also choose options where, for example, the outside is thicker than the inside. I can make it an angled hole where as it goes through, it kind of goes off into the points. I could even choose to have threads. I can even choose to have threads where if I'm making another part of this, then I can have a screw they can screw down into this. So there's a lot of options for the hole tool. So the last technique we're going to look at is the pattern technique. And there's actually two types of patterns. You can do a rectangular pattern and a circular pattern. So I already have this cube designed, and on top of the cube I have a triangle and a circle. And I'll start by showing what the rectangular pattern looks like. We're going to go to Sketch, Rectangular Pattern, and you have a bunch of options here. For the object, we're going to select these two parts of the triangle, and now you can have these arrows. They let you drag out your design as far as you want, and then you could also change the number to, for example, if you say 4, you can have it fill in the space. So what the rectangular pattern does is it takes one design and multiplies it along a path of your choice. The second type of design we're going to look at, the second type of pattern we're going to look at is a circular pattern. So for example, we want to take this circle and rotate it around a certain point. So we'll go to Sketch, circular pattern, the object is going to be this circle. The center point is going to be this point, and you could always sketch a point that you wanted to rotate around as well, and then you can specify how many you want. So will say, for example, 5, and it makes 5 copies of the circle around the point. So if you're designing something like candles and a birthday cake, this would be a good strategy to use. And then we can hit OK, and now we can extrude our designs or do whatever else we want to them.